Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal match preview time. It's Arsenal against Liverpool next up, and this really does feel like do or die. Now, we've had some really big games this season already. You had that big week where we traveled to Tottenham, traveled to Man City, traveled to Atalanta. We've had big game against PSG, had a big game early on in the season against Aston Villa away. All those games have been very, very big, but especially the Man City one. But none of them has because it was very early in the season and we were still like almost the same level at that point, same points and stuff. It didn't really feel like do or die. This one really does feel like do or die because of what happened last week and because Liverpool have been winning their games. And right now, at this time of recording, we are 3 points behind Man City, 4 points behind Liverpool. You win this game, you're 1 point behind Liverpool. We assume Man City are going to win. Man City are definitely going to beat Southampton, so we've already given them the 3 points. And from what we learned last season, you have to expect them to win every single game. You just have to do your job. So you win this game, you go 1 point behind Liverpool, and you're back in it for sure. I don't think we've ever left it, but you're back in it and you're right there with them, and you put Liverpool under pressure as well. And Man City go ahead of Liverpool, and then you never know what is going to happen after that. So you'll be 1 point behind Liverpool, and you'll be still 3 points behind Man City. You draw the game, I think that will be okay for Liverpool. I think Liverpool will be okay with that. They'll still be 4 points ahead of us. Man City will take control of the league title at that point on, but Liverpool still keep the gap between us at 4 points. And at that point, we will be 5 points behind Man City. So 5 points is still a lot, but at that point, you're hoping that, Liverpool and Man City, the time they play, maybe they draw and then they draw points. But if we lose this game, then it becomes very, very tricky. Drawing, you've already had me saying you're still hoping that Man City draw points somewhere, and that is us drawing with Liverpool. So if we lose, that means it's even harder. So at that point, you're not chasing just one team; you're chasing two teams. Liverpool is on form, Man City is always on form. You'll be 6 points behind Man City. You'll be 7 points behind Liverpool. Even if they face each other and they draw in next month or something, they draw. I think they're playing early December or something. If we lose tomorrow and Man City Liverpool play each other and they draw, the gap is still huge. At that point, it's still like is it like 4 points behind Man City, 5 points behind Liverpool? The gap is still going to be there. So you can't afford to lose. So my first question for you guys is it a must-win game or is it a must-not-lose game against Liverpool? Now, I think you just can't afford to lose. If you're missing players, if it's bad enough, how it should have been against Bournemouth, just take the draw. We need to win the game. The first option is to win the game for sure. We've lost to Bournemouth. You have to make up for it by beating Liverpool. That is just what we need to do. But if you can't win the game, don't make any silly mistake in the last minute. Don't commit and make a silly mistake and then make Liverpool win. Because if Liverpool win, then my confidence, I predicted us not to win the league. I said, win 30 games, lose 4, draw 4. You're still going to win the league with 94 points. But if you lose this game, it becomes very, very hard. All of a sudden, from October, you're chasing two teams, and it becomes very, very hard. Even if they draw points, Liverpool play Aston Villa, Man City play Aston Villa, Man City play Tottenham. Even if they draw points, you're still chasing, and you have to go next week and beat Newcastle. You have to go and beat Newcastle, beat Chelsea as well. The time you play Man City and Liverpool again, you have to beat them. It becomes a very, very hard task. So this is a crucial game. That is why I feel like it's even bigger than what we had against Man City and Tottenham and Aston Villa already so far this season. So this is a crucial one. Now, a couple of things are positive, a couple of things are negative. The positives are we've had a very good record against Liverpool over the last 2 years. We've played them a lot of times. I think since 2020, there was a Community Shield game. We played them in a friendly match in USA in the last preseason. We played them in the Carabao Cup twice, I think, 2 seasons ago, home and away. And then there's another time we played them as well in the Carabao Cup as well. Last season in the FA Cup, we played them a lot of times. But in the Premier League last 2 seasons, we've done incredibly well against them. Last season, we were under a lot of pressure as well, but we still beat them 3-1 at our place. That game as well, if Liverpool had beaten us, we'd have been out of the title race as many people had predicted. But we beat them and we got ourselves back in the title race after losing to West Ham and Fulham like a month before that. The 2 away games at Liverpool, We could easily have won the one from 2 seasons ago where Firmino scored in almost the final minute. We could easily have done a double against them that year. And last season as well, we took the lead very early on. Liverpool equalized, and we ended up having a draw. So 2 draws, 2 wins. The last 2 seasons have not been able to beat us in the Premier League. That is a positive. That is definitely a positive. Another positive is like we usually do better away from home, but this particular game, you don't want it to be at Anfield. Right now, when you have injuries and you had a lot of pressure, you don't want this game to be at Anfield. So it's better for us to have this game at the Emirates Stadium. So that's another positive for this week. And the negatives, obviously, the injuries. That is terrible because if we had Saka, if we had Saliba, if we had Timber fit, Calafiori fit, I'd be like, yeah, we're going to win this game 3-1 or something. I'd be predicting it even after losing to Bournemouth last week. But since we're going to this game with Saka being a doubt, Timber being a doubt, Calafiori out, Tomiyasu out, not only are we missing Odegaard and Saliba, we could end up missing a fullback to, Mark Salah, and missing both of them or three of them in Tomiyasu, Calafiori, and Timber would have done that job well. That's a shame. And now we're going to have to depend on players who've not really played this season, like Zinchenko, and we already know what happens when he plays against Salah. And number two, Kiwi as well, who didn't have a good week last time out. So we'd have to be depending on players who are not confident to take care of Salah. So that is definitely a negative. And obviously the negative is the other negative is the pressure going into this game. I think we have more pressure than Liverpool going into this one. Liverpool will be okay with the draw. It's an away game for them. They'll still be 4 points ahead of us, and they'll be like, okay, when you come to the Anfield, we're going to beat you. Yeah, they definitely have the advantage. But we have to just go and do the job. We went to Tottenham. We didn't have Rice. We didn't have Odegaard. People are predicting Tottenham to win. We went there and did the job. Against Man City, we almost did the job there with 10 men. So whatever happens, just go there and do the job. First thing that we need to do in this game, just don't pick up a red card. That's the main thing that we need to do. Don't go down to 10 men in this game and give Liverpool even more advantage. Don't do that. Don't go down to 10 men. Keep the discipline. Don't put your foot anywhere near the ball when the whistle has blown. Let's not take any risks at all. Just don't do it. Let's keep 11 men on the pitch, because personally, minus the injuries, I feel like we can't lose too many games if you have 11 men on the pitch. I actually would say the games that we've lost this season and drawn, we've had 10 men on the pitch. All the others that we've had 11, we've won them. So it's as simple as that. The results are there. You go down to 10 men to Brighton, you Brighton score and you draw the game. If you kept 11, you'd have won that game. Against Man City, if you kept 11, we might have ended up winning that game as well. Against Bournemouth, if you had kept 11, you're not playing well at that point on. But from what we've seen the last 2 seasons against Bournemouth as well, we usually find a way, like in the second half, last minute, you never know, we'd have ended up winning that game 1-0. So keep 11 on the pitch and then see what happens. Don't give Liverpool any more of an advantage. And they are going to take advantage of us having, players out. Let's also take advantage of them having a couple of players out, like Alisson. Yes, Kala is a very good goalkeeper, but take advantage of that. He's not on the level of Alisson. Take advantage of them missing Jota. Nunes is not as confident at the moment. Take advantage of that as well. Don't let Nunes come into this game and score a double. Don't do that. So we have to use what we have. Any player who's going to be picked for this game, we're going to come to the lineup. Any player that's going to be picked for this game, you have to have a 10 out of 10 performance, minimum 9 out of 10. We need Partey to be the Partey that he has been the last 1 month. Play out of your socks completely. Rice, we need a big performance from him in that midfield or wherever he's going to play. If Saka is not there, whoever is going to replace him, Jesus, Sterling, we need the biggest performance you've had in an Arsenal shirt. That is how much we will need you for that game if Saka is out. Martinelli, we need you to take your chances. We need you to have the performances you've had against Liverpool over the last 3-4 years, to the point where Klopp said you're one of the best players, best wingers in the world. We need that. We need that Martinelli. Defensively, yes, we're missing Saliba, we could be missing Timber, could be missing Calafiori, could be missing I don't know if White is fit, Tomiyasu is injured as well. Whoever plays, you need a big performance. Zinchenko, listen, if Zinchenko comes and does a job against Salah, everyone will forget about all the wrong things that Zinchenko has done. So if you get picked for this game, you'll need a big performance. Gabriel, you're now like the only player there now since Saliba is not there. You're the only one who's featured a lot this season. You're the only regular who's been featuring throughout the season who's going to be in that game. You need a big performance from you. So it's going to be huge. If you look at the last 4 games we played Liverpool, we've played very well in all 4 of them. But if you look at the goals that we've conceded against them, you'll see its mistakes. So that one for Zinchenko at Anfield, where Firmino scored in the last minute. There was, I think, a Gabriel on goal at the Emirates Stadium. like just mistakes here and there. So let's not do that. Let's not give them any advantage, and let's try and get something from this game. Because if you win this game, it completely changes the season around again. You're like, okay, we've beaten Aston Villa, we've beaten Tottenham, drawn with Man City, beaten Liverpool. Next up is Preston. You win that game, you're going to the quarterfinal of that cup, an opportunity for a trophy, and then you're going to the Newcastle game and Chelsea games confident, and then all of a sudden things have changed. All of a sudden things have changed. But we have to have a big performance. We have to have our biggest performance of the season because Liverpool are confident, and a lot of people are saying, with the new coach, they're going to drop off. They haven't. They're doing well. I still predicted them to finish in the top three. It could be higher than that from what it looks like. And as long as Van Dijk and Salah in that team, I still expect them to do well. And Trent is confident. Gravenberch is confident. Diaz is confident. And they have a few other players who are confident. So if you go there and you win this game, imagine not having those players and you win this game. That would be a marker. That would also kind of drain their confidence when they look at that game. They're like, oh my goodness, Arsenal didn't have this and this and this and that, and they still beat us. That will also drain their confidence. So this is a big one. It's not going to be easy, but you have to try and do the job. So which kind of lineup would I go for this one? So I'll put it on screen right now. This is my lineup. So I do expect Timber and Saka to make it for this game. If they don't, I'll tell you what I do. So Raya in goal as well, another player who needs a big game, just like he's had a lot of times this season. Need another big performance from him. No errors like the ones he made against Bournemouth. Let's have the Raya against Atalanta. Let's have the Raya against Aston Villa in this game. In front of him, we don't have enough defenders, guys. I've put Ben White at right back. I think he's going to make it. Arteta did say that it was a technical or tactical change. I think it's because he was on a yellow card on that day. So Bennett is going to need a big game. Now, you could also have Bennett at centre back, but let me read through what my team is and then I'll tell you what other things you can do. So Bennett at right back, Timber at left back if he does make it, and then centre back, Gabriel and Kivio. Now, having Kivio there, especially on the right side again, it's not ideal at all. It's going to be very, very hard. But who else would you put there? Yes, you can argue you can put Rice there, and then you have Merino in front there with Partey, or you can have Ben White next to Gabriel, but and then maybe have Timber at right back, and then Zinchenko at left back. It depends. Who would you rather have on this pitch on that day? Zinchenko or Kivio? Who would you rather have on the pitch on that day? Zinchenko or Kivio? So for me, I think we really need someone to keep Salah quiet, and that's the one position that we really need to take care of, and the right wing as well with Ben White marking Diaz. So Timber, Ben White, Kivio, and Gabriel for me. And Kivio, please, we need a big performance as well because we don't really have anyone else to play that. So that's a problem. We cannot say play Heaven or play Lewis Kelly up against Salah. We can't do that. So the other option is to play Timber at centre back and then play Zinchenko at left back. So it's either who do you want, Zinchenko or Kivio on the pitch for this game. Now, it could be worse. Timber could end up missing this game, and then we are forced to play Zinchenko and Kivio in the same team. And then at that point, Liverpool obviously become favourites if you have two players who've not really played and two players who are not confident. It becomes a problem. But at that point, then you're not really expecting a clean sheet. You'll be like, okay, we need to outscore them. If they're going to score 2 goals, we need to score 3 goals. At that point, it doesn't become about keeping a clean sheet or anything. Like against Aston Villa and against Tottenham, we could afford to say, listen, we have all our defenders fit. Let's just keep a clean sheet and then we try and nick a goal. But in this one, I don't think we have enough defensively with Saliba out and Calafiori out and all of those guys. But that is my back four. Midfield, Partey. No problem with Partey at all. It's been incredible for us. Let's hope he has another big performance. Could we end up seeing him at right back? I think we could actually end up seeing that if things go very badly. I don't think Arteta really trusts Kivio and Zinchenko that highly. So I think we could easily see Partey at right back, Ben White at centre back with Gabriel, and then have a midfield of Rice and Merino. We could see that. But for me, I've gone with Partey. Gravenberch has been on form, so let's just have our form player there as well. In Partey, next to Rice and Trossard in midfield for me. Trossard had a good game against Liverpool last season at home. And then up front, Martinelli on the left side always has big games against Liverpool. Havertz up front in the 9, and then Saka on the right wing. If Saka is not there, I'm just going to give Sterling the game and tell him, listen, we need a big, big game from you. This one, you remember what you said when you signed for Arsenal, you have haters to prove wrong, start with this game. That would be great if you do that. But for me, Saka starts on the right side. I think it just has to be fit. Like, it would be such a killer if Saka is also not fit and Tim is not fit. That would be problematic. But if they're both not fit, then it's going to have to be Zinchenko and Sterling for me. And then on the bench, if that is the lineup, I'm going to go. The bench will be Neto, Zinchenko, Lewis Kelly, Heaven, Merino, Jorginho, Nwaneri, Jesus, and Sterling. So not too much to choose from the bench. So what will Arteta do? Could he? There's a couple of things he could do. We could actually have Partey at right back and then have Rice and Merino in midfield. We could see that. We could also end up seeing if he's really feeling like Liverpool have a tough, physical midfield and stuff, he could easily go with Rice, Merino, and Partey, all three of them in that midfield. So that's the number two thing he could actually end up doing. Number three, he could decide to, do what? He could say, listen, I need a bit of firepower from the bench. So in the first half, the first 60 minutes, I'm just going to try and keep it tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, Merino instead of Trossard, and then have Trossard coming off the bench, maybe with the Sterling or something, or Jesus, just to have something to bring off the bench. He could decide to have maybe a Saka on the bench. If Saka is like 70% fit, 80% fit, he could decide to have him on the bench and then bring him on. Maybe same with Tim, and then just ask Jesus from the start to do a job for 50, 60 minutes. Maybe same with Zinchenko. And then if you've only considered one goal, or it's still 0 for Liverpool, then you bring in Timber to show it up. That could happen. But as you can see on the bench, not enough in terms of the squad. Could we end up seeing someone like a Jorginho starting out of nowhere, especially if Partey starts at right back? You never know. But either way, that is my lineup for this game. That is Raya, Timber, Gabriel, Kivio White, Partey, Trossard, Rice, Martinelli, Havertz, and Saka. So if Saka makes it and Trossard starts, and that is the difference that you're going for. If Timber is also missing, then we might have to outscore them. I don't think you're going to keep a clean sheet. If you keep a clean sheet with that, then fair play to Arteta and fair play to the defense. If you actually keep a clean sheet with Kivio and Zinchenko there, not only are they not I've not been playing, I don't think they're confident at all. Zinchenko seeing the likes of Lewis Kelly coming on ahead of him, and he's talked about Salah giving him a hard time before. It's not ideal at all. So my prediction for this game. Let me know your lineup. Let me know your prediction for this one as well. I don't know. If Saka was 100% fit, I might have gone for it, but I think we're missing too many players, and that Bournemouth result and the Shakhtar result as well, and Liverpool coming into this confident. I think it could get to a stage where Arsenal let's just not lose the game, and Liverpool will be like, you know what, we'll take the draw. So I'm going to go for it. Arsenal 2, Liverpool 2. I'm going to go for Arsenal 2, Liverpool 2. This is the second time I'm not predicting a win for Arsenal this season. I think the other one was Man City went for a draw as well. So Arsenal 2, Liverpool 2 for this one. I'm going to go for Martinelli to score again against Liverpool. And I'm going to go for Havertz. I don't know if Saka is going to be fit, so I'm going to go for Havertz and Martinelli. Big game. Let me know your prediction. Let me know your starting lineup. Who would you rather start between Zinchenko and Kivio? Would you even think about starting Partey at right back if Ben White is missing, or Ben White has having to play at centre back? Let me know. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next